Sugar, in its many forms, has become an almost inescapable part of our modern diets. The sweet stuff is everywhere, from the obvious culprits like candies and sodas, to less obvious ones like bread and salad dressings. As our consumption of sugar has risen, so have concerns about its effects on our health, especially around the idea of sugar addiction. But is sugar truly addictive? Let's explore the science behind this controversial topic. What is sugar addiction? Sugar addiction refers to a craving or a perceived need for foods high in sugar, leading to excessive consumption despite potential negative health effects. It is often likened to drug addiction, with studies suggesting similar mechanisms at play in the brain. The brain on sugar, dopamine, and reward. Sugar can induce feelings of pleasure, and its effect on our brain is at the core of the sugar addiction debate. When we consume sugar, our brain releases the neurotransmitter dopamine, specifically in an area called the nucleus accumbens, the brain's reward center. This release of dopamine triggers feelings of pleasure and reward. This dopamine-driven reward system is the same pathway that is activated by addictive drugs like cocaine and heroin, leading to the notion that sugar may have addictive properties. Evidence from animal studies. Much of the evidence supporting sugar addiction comes from animal studies, particularly in rats. These studies have shown that when rats are exposed to a diet high in sugar, they can develop behaviors similar to those seen in drug addiction, such as binging, craving, and withdrawal symptoms. They also show changes in dopamine and opioid systems in the brain, similar to the effects seen with addictive substances. However, it's important to note that results from animal studies do not always translate directly to humans. Human studies and controversies. In humans, the evidence is less clear. While some research suggests that sugar and sugar-rich foods can induce cravings and activate brain regions involved in reward processing, similarly to addictive substances, these studies often rely on self-reported measures of cravings and addiction, which can be subjective. Other researchers argue that although overeating and drug addiction might share some neurobiological similarities, it does not necessarily mean that sugar is addictive. Critics of the sugar addiction model also point out that, unlike drug addiction, where the individual consumes the drug for the sole purpose of achieving a high, sugar is usually consumed as part of food, which is not only essential for survival but also brings about social and cultural pleasure. Towards a comprehensive understanding of sugar and health. While the debate around sugar addiction continues, it is clear that excessive consumption of sugar can lead to numerous health issues, including obesity, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease. Regardless of whether sugar is technically addictive, reducing intake, particularly of added sugars, is a beneficial goal for public health. Understanding sugar's effects on the brain and behavior can also provide insights into why reducing sugar consumption can be challenging. Knowing that sugar can trigger reward and pleasure centers in the brain, strategies that provide alternative sources of pleasure may be beneficial. Additionally, raising awareness about the high sugar content in many processed foods and encouraging whole, nutrient-dense foods can contribute to better overall health. The science of sugar addiction is complex and still developing. While there are similarities in how sugar and addictive substances act in the brain, the translation of these findings to human behavior and the definition of addiction is less clear. However, the health consequences of high sugar consumption are well established, underscoring the importance of moderation and balance in our diets. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more informative and empowering content. Until next time, stay healthy and happy.